Hey guys! So it's fall, which is one of my favorite times of the year. You get to start bundling up, the leaves start changing, there's pumpkin spice everything, and it's horror movie season. So in this last week of October, I wanted to give you guys 5 horror movies you can watch to gear up for Halloween, and additionally, I wanted to do a game giveaway. This horror movie list is a list of movies you might not have seen unless you're really into horror movies and like to watch all the things like me, and they're all currently available on Netflix. First off is The Babadook. Now, I saw lots of people raving about this movie, and I knew I wanted to watch it at some point, but it literally took me over 5 different tries of starting the movie and getting about 10 minutes into it before I was actually able to make it through the whole thing. And it might have been that I just wasn't in the mood for it, or that the kid was just really annoying me, but I'm glad I eventually made it through the whole thing. This movie at baseline is about a book that, when read, releases a type of evil entity, and while that storyline is nothing new, R.L. Stine had a movie called The Haunting Hour, Don't Think About It, starring Emily Osment, which is basically the same premise. It's the story of the people involved and the way it's told that makes for an interesting watch. This is definitely something for people who like to analyze movies, and at the end of it, you can sort of replay the events and try to figure out if this is a true supernatural horror movie or more of a psychological journey of sorts. Second on my list is The Taking of Deborah Logan. So this film is a documentary style using a mix of elements from The Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity, and it follows a woman diagnosed with Alzheimer's and the impact it has on her and her daughter. Rather quickly into the film, you start to see that there may be something a little bit more sinister involved in the mother's descent into madness. What makes this film truly creepy for me are some of the shots where a camera will catch the mother being all sorts of crazy, and then she'll just sort of turn and look at the camera. That's all it took for me, and I'm just like, nope, stop looking at me, evil lady. Next up is another documentary-style film called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. As this was released in 2006, you may have already seen it, but if you haven't, it's worth the watch simply for being a pretty original take on a horror movie. It's about a man named Leslie who is obsessed with horror movie slasher villains and wants to become one. So he invites a documentary team to follow him as he builds a villainous name for himself. It has a similar tone to the Scream movies, with humor playing off of a lot of horror movie stereotypes, while still keeping it creepy with a bunch of gore. Fourth on my list is Session 9. Now, for me, supernatural horror is my bread and butter. It is a type of horror I always flock to, and the kind that really gets the creep factor going for me. And in that realm of movies, nothing gets to me more than abandoned mental hospitals, because what's better than supernatural forces if not mentally insane supernatural forces? So Session 9 follows a cleanup crew working to make an abandoned mental hospital building usable again. And the bonus is it was actually filmed in a real-life mental hospital. This movie plays out like a psychological horror akin to something like The Shining, where there is this continuous buildup of overwhelming dread. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, give it a watch. Last on my list is Grave Encounters. So once again, we have a setting in an abandoned mental hospital, so you know I'm already all about this movie. If you're not sold yet though, what makes this movie great is it's partially a spoof on ghost hunting reality shows. It follows the crew of the show Grave Encounters while they're shooting an episode inside the hospital. And if you're a fan of the show Ghost Adventures, you'll definitely be able to catch the movie repeatedly mocking its host, Zach Bagans. And if you watch it and enjoy it, you can check out Grave Encounters 2 on Netflix as well. So that's it for my list of some old, some new, and not particularly mainstream horror movies that you can check out this week on Netflix. If you end up watching any of them, let me know what you think about them in the comments below. And if you have a favorite horror movie, make sure to tweet it to me at LaiPlays so I can check it out if I haven't seen it. And finally, I wanted to do a game giveaway for Halloween, so I picked H1Z1, 'cause zombies. You can find the link to enter the giveaway below, just make sure you do so before the 31st. And also, you'll need a Steam account to receive the game. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a fun and safe Halloween!